This week is part 1 of our Q&A answers. We're going to be answering some of the awesome questions that you left us on last week's video.
Yes, let us begin.
Okay, the first question is, what courses did you do at uni?
I studied film studies, film production, editing, directing, filming, which is quite apt because we have a YouTube channel where I have to do all those things.
Yeah, it's turned out to be super relevant. And I did computing.
Also useful.
Very useful, yeah, and comes into play for my current job.
What do you do for work?
I work as what's my job title now? I keep forgetting. It is systems developer. And so I do a lot of systems integration. I write code that makes websites work. Not the code that makes them look pretty, but the one that makes them work. And just do a lot of general sort of geeky computery stuff.
Ash writes The Matrix.
That is exactly what I said.
That's how I read it. I'm in retail management. So shopping and bossiness, it's like the best job for me.
This is a bit of a deep question coming up. It's where do you see yourselves in 5 years? That good old classic interview question. This is a really hard one to answer. And it's just made me realise that in 5 years' time, I'm going to be 31.
I would like to still be alive.
That's a good start.
I would like to have some guinea pigs. And a room for my soft toys.
Okay.
That's like
cool.
my life goals.
So you'd kind of like want to be moved house since in then?
I would like a garden for the guinea pigs and for barbecues so I can drink my Cool Lime refreshers. And a guest bedroom where the bed is literally just covered in soft toys, so if I ever get sad I can just... That's the dream. That's the 5-year dream. A house. A detached house would be nice. Anyone want to donate us a detached house with a garden and 2 pre-given guinea pigs? That's fine. They need to be cute. What are your dream jobs?
Well, I would love to be a food photographer. Now that's something I would love to do. I've got a long way to go before that's anywhere within the realms of possibility, but that is something that I think I would really, really enjoy.
I think I would like to be a travel agent, but the issue with that is I think so many people do it themselves now that...
You're just sort of cautious.
Yeah.
Cautious about the industry.
I already work in a difficult industry. Like, jewellery is not a must-have for people, nor holidays. And if we do go into another recession, they're not the industries I really want to be in.
No, perhaps not.
Or cruises. Looking into cruises. That would be fun. Not being on a cruise, just, selling cruises. Holidays, just making people go on holiday.
Well, more than anything, like planning and doing people's itineraries.
Oh,
that's
I love planning.
You're very good at that. So I think that anything along those sort of lines would be a very good fit for you.
Yeah, holiday planner.
Cool. Next up, favourite TV shows and what snacks you like to eat while you watch them. Now, lately I've been watching a lot of Person of Interest, which I think is a really cool show, and also Lucifer that I've been getting into lately on Amazon Prime. Those are probably the big 2 that I've been watching lately. As for snacks, pretty much anything, but I really, really like crisps, so lots and lots of crisps.
I personally really like teen girl favourites, such as I've been watching Once Upon a Time, I've been watching Vampire Diaries, Shadowhunters on Netflix, and Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And I liked it, depends what I'm watching. If I'm watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I tend to eat fruit because they make me feel really bad if I'm eating cake. All the rest of them, popcorn's always a good go-to for me, or some kind of sweet treat like chocolate raisins.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Raisins. Because you get the fruit and the chocolate. How did you meet?
We met at uni through sort of mutual friends. We both knew some people that knew each other, and we got invited to the same places a lot. So we kind of got to know each other through that. Not a very particularly interesting story, but yeah, we've known each other quite a while. What's your favourite thing to do as a couple?
This sounds really silly, but if I explain it really quickly, shopping, but not necessarily spending money, just looking around the shops. Because some people like to go on walks, nice little walks. I need to be visually stimulated in some way. Not that our conversations aren't riveting, but we live together. So,
we spend a lot of time together just existing
in the same, if I'm doing something outside of work, you're probably there, so there's no point telling you about it. So I like to go shopping because we can look at stuff and talk about things that we see and how it relates to things we see. It's like, when you see stuff and it gives you a memory of something.
So that's quite fun. I also really enjoy doing YouTube with you, actually.
You're all right. Yeah, no, I do.
Shut up. This is fun, and it makes us it means we
It does make us spend time
It
together.
does make us spend time together, even if we're not in the mood for it. But it's a nice thing to do together, and we've made something. It's cool.
What's your favourite date that you've been on together?
I think our Victoria and Albert meal. That totally counts as a date, and I really, really enjoyed that. I think that was an amazing evening. Or the Mexican food that we literally just went out and ate. I really enjoyed that.
I really liked our dates to the theatre in London when we went to go see Aladdin and The
That
Lion
was
King.
a nice day.
Both of them. Because you surprised me with tickets to Lion King when we were in Germany. You gave me the mug.
Yes.
And you were like, I bought you tickets for our anniversary to go see the Lion King, but they're not here, so here's a Disney mug while we're in Germany. And then we went to see the Lion King, and both days we went shopping beforehand, which I love in London. Had a nice lunch.
Those were nice days.
They're the ones I like.
Next one. So, do people in your real life know about your vlog? That's a definite no from me, pretty much. My family know. I feel like sometimes they don't really get it, but other than that, basically, no one really knows. It's not something that I'm very open about. I'm quite a private person in real life, so I think it would be quite a surprise for many of these real people that know me to be like get this weird look into my life that they would never have imagined would be something that I would do.
Everyone I've ever met ever knows that I do YouTube. Our marketing manager at work knows, the PR girl, my area manager, all the girls I work with, people in the centre, the other staff. Just because they're like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, filming a YouTube video. They're like, what's that for? My YouTube channel. Oh, what are your YouTube channel? Blah, 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 blah. All the girls from work subscribe. Because I made them. No, some of them do watch it. And then my family all know. For me, it was, everyone's like, what are you doing with your degree? What are you doing with your degree? You spent 3 years studying film, but you're doing nothing to film. Well, I actually edit at least 3 times a week. We film 3 times a week minimum. So yeah, I'm actually doing stuff with my degree now. So this is kind of what I can say I'm using my degree for.
How do you not feel self-conscious vlogging? The answer is, I feel self-conscious vlogging all the time, and you just have to ignore it, pretty much, is the only way I can describe it. Like, if you feel self-conscious, you're probably always going to feel a little bit self-conscious about it, so you just kind of have to remember that none of these people know you, and none of them really care. Like, they're all going to go on with their life, and maybe they'll say, yeah, I saw some guy videoing himself walking down the street, but they probably won't even say that. So you just kind of have to get on with it, I guess. And it's worse in Southampton, I will be honest. Like, walking up and down the high street with a camera feels a bit odd because that's where I live. But everywhere else, you just get really kind of in that, no one here knows me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. And so many people are doing it these days that I think most strangers now would kind of get it. They'd be like, oh, they probably do that for YouTube.
I really struggle with it, really badly, to the point of most weekend vlogs, if we're out, I'm barely usually in it because I just feel so self-conscious. And it's not the actual filming, I just always have, and it's really weird, I'm not big in myself, I always have that fear of people going, who do they think they are? Like, oh, vloggers, or things like that. It's just, I don't know, it just makes me feel like, oh, do they think they're Zoella? Like, things like that. And I know that that's probably not what people are thinking, but that's, I don't know, I just always think they're like, oh, look at those people trying to be vloggers, things like that, and it just makes me feel really awkward. Have you ever thought of opening a PO box like other YouTubers have for followers to send gifts?
Yes, we've totally thought about it.
Have we?
Yeah, I looked into it. I looked up the prices. If you let me finish.
Oh.
What happened was we looked into it, I looked at the prices, and I went, yeah, that's kind of a fair amount of money for the year. Is anyone going to send us stuff? No, no one has ever asked to send us stuff. Is this worth it? Not right now, is what I'm going to say on that. Personally, I'd love one. I think it would be great. And I think if we had one and we put it everywhere, people would send us stuff all the time. But maybe when we're bigger, that would be my answer for that, I think.
I don't want one for the purpose of the fact that I don't want people to spend money on us, because I feel that...
I definitely feel weird about it.
I mean, I just don't know. People have offered to when they've been in Florida, there's something I wanted to get me something, and I've always said no because I don't want anyone to ever go out their way or to spend their money on anything. And even though I always try and offer to pay people back for stuff, it's just, I don't know, it just feels weird to me that, like,
think
brands,
of all the fan art we could get.
Brands, you send what you like. Like, I love that, but I don't feel comfortable about people spending money on things, stuff that they've written and made. That's really cool, But I would worry that people would go, I saw this thing that I really thought you liked, so I bought it, and that would make me feel really bad. So,
Sarah, have you ever taken a cake decorating class, or do you ever plan to? I loved your cake pop video.
I don't know if they're being sarcastic or not, because that was a terrible video and I failed massively.
I think that they turned out fine, and I think that anybody watching can see that they were clearly meant to be eyeballs, and the ones that worked.
Which were none.
2 of them worked. We got a photo out of it.
I would like to, and I have said this before, haven't I, that I would like to do like a cake making rather than decorating, because, I don't know, I would like to. That's definitely something I'd want to do, but I would prefer to do it sort of one-on-one than a class, and I feel one-on-one's expensive. And there's certain people I'd want to do it, like I'd want to go to certain places and do it, because I know there's a few really cool bakeries that do it. But it's something I'll look into. Maybe that can be like a thing at the summer we can both go cake
that would
decorating.
actually be really cool.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll go cake decorating. Cake decorating.
This question is quite specific. It's, do either of you have any Irish ancestry?
My last name's Irish, but no one in my blood family Irish. Work that one out. My dad was adopted into an Irish family. They aren't Irish. They're actually Scottish. They just had an Irish name. No.
And for me, as far as I know, not really. No.
Where are you from?
Here.
Isn't Jolliffe Irish?
No, it's French, technically.
Jolliffe.
Yeah.
Actually Jolliffe.
Yeah. Great.
I'm calling you that now.
Please don't.
Jolliffe.
Shut up.
Oh, this isn't a very nice question.
I'm looking forward to the answer of this question.
Well, you're going to go first, so I can change mine depending on how brutal you are.
No.
If you could change one thing about the other, what would it be?
How tidy Sarah is. That's my answer. It's come up in vlogs before. You just like putting stuff down. It's not a big deal, and we can keep the place tidy if we tried a bit more. You just put stuff down all the time.
I'm good at certain things, like doing the washing.
Yeah, you're great at being clean.
I'm clean.
You're a very clean person. Your idea of tidy is everything is on the side.
Well, yeah, but it's not on the floor.
Exactly, and that's kind of like a problem.
I'm getting better.
Yeah, exactly.
What would I change about you? I would make you more excited about the things that I get excited about. So like when
I totally get it.
So when I get really excited about Ash, listen, or what did I literally send you yesterday? It was like a gif of a cat, and it was amazing. I laughed for a long time. I sent it to you, and you literally watched it, and before you even finished, you clicked away like.
I laughed. I said lol.
Yeah, but you didn't actually laugh. You went lol, and then you closed it.
Oh, that's cute.
But it was really funny. And
I'm sorry, I just didn't find it that funny.
And I'm like, let's watch this vlog for like the 10th time. And you're like, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, but it's fun. Like, we're currently doing some editing. And honestly, it's like pulling teeth getting Ash to do the editing with me. Because he does not get excited about rewatching our lives as much as I do.
I do not.
So that's what I'd like. I'd like you to be more excited about the things that I enjoy.
That's a very fair comment.
This is a question for Ash. Which is more effective for PC cooling, fans or reservoirs? What's a reservoir?
Like liquid cooling.
Surely that's bad in electronics to have liquid.
It's all sealed in.
Oh wait, there's liquid in my phone, isn't there?
There is, it's liquid cooled in there. And liquid cooling is very effective, but it's also quite expensive. So it really depends on how hard you're trying to overclock your processor. If you're kind of doing some small tweaks, then stick with a regular fan, because you're going to be spending twice the amount of the fan on the water cooling system, and you're not going to get, there's a kind of diminishing returns from it. So I would go with a fan, and I've got a fan in my current PC, and it's totally fine. But if I was going like the real serious overclocking, a real high-end processor, then I would go all in with a really nice water-cooled system.
I put in whatever's built in my PC when it comes.
Yeah, you didn't build a PC, you just bought a Mac.
I built some of it.
No, you didn't.
I asked for some spec changes.
That's not the same.
Yeah.
All right, one for Sarah now. As a Sarah to a Sarah, how do you feel when people order a coffee and people ask whether you spell your name with an H? Are you happy for their consideration, or do you think it's ridiculous?
I mean, how can I say this without offending everyone?
Let's put you on the spot a bit.
It has. As a Sarah who spells her name with a H, the way that it's written in the Bible.
Ooh.
I mean,
getting biblical.
People think a lot about the Bible, and the Bible spells it with a H. So if you don't, technically you're going against the Bible.
Ooh, strong words.
Your name's spelt differently to other people spell it.
My name's spelled exactly normal.
Whatever.
That was a really good sentence from both of us.
It's fine. I don't mind. You call yourself whatever you're calling, as long as you tell me what your name is. I sometimes say to people, do you spell it with a H? Because I'm being considerate of others, even though I don't necessarily agree with their views. And I think if a lot more people did that, we'd be in a better place in the world.
I think my only problem is people who spell their name an alternate way, but then get annoyed that you ask or clarify how to spell or pronounce it. Like, I feel like that kind of goes with the territory. And like, if you want people to spell it and say it right, just let them know. And if they're asking, you should see that as a kindness, not anything like...
A jab.
Yeah, it's not a jab. They're just trying to be kind and work out how you would like your name said or spelled. All right, so this is the final question for this part. We've got a whole bunch of Disney and holiday related questions that are coming up in the next part. We will close though with, since you and Ash are foodies like me, what's your favorite food and restaurant?
This makes me sound so unsophisticated. You go first.
Okay, my favorite genre of food is pizza. Like, hands down, I can eat pizza all day, every day. Pizza is so good and is literally the best. Now, as for favorite restaurant, that's way harder. And I think I'm gonna have to split it into two. And I'm gonna have to say, like, my favorite restaurant I've ever been to is, hands down, Victoria and Albert's. But that's not really like an achievable everyday favorite. So I'm gonna have to have a regular, normal, everyday favorite. And for that, I think I'm gonna have to say Nando's or Wagamama's.
I was gonna say Nando's or Wagamama's.
I know, and I'm sorry, but I actually really like eating at both of those places. And they're very sort of like everyday, you know what you're getting. I like the food, and I've got favorites at both. So I think if I had to choose, maybe Wagamama's. I really like their food. It's a tough one though. It's a really tough one.
You did really like Oaxaca today though.
I did really, really like Oaxaca today, but I'd have to eat there a few more times before I could really say it was my favorite.
That's fair.
Though I just really like eating new types of food and trying new places. Like I really, really enjoy that.
When I think of favourite food, I think of the food that I could always be in. It doesn't matter what time of day, doesn't matter where I am, what am I always going to be in the mood for? Someone's like, do you want to get ice cream? I'll be like, yeah, always. I always want to get ice cream, unless it's like a rubbish flavour. There is nothing better to me than ice cream in the world, ever. Nothing cannot be fixed by ice cream. My favourite restaurant, again, like, is somewhere that I consistently know what I'm going to get. So for the UK, it's definitely Nando's, because I do love a good Nando's. Like, I'm always up for a Nando's. In America, and I was just thinking a minute ago, I actually think it might be Yachtsman, but I have only eaten there once. So, yeah. I've been there once, but that was my favourite meal of that trip.
It was a very, very good meal.
Or be our guest for the ambience and the waiters. I'm not sure. I'm hoping to have new favourites. Like I really liked Yachtsman, but I'm hoping when we go back that I have a new favourite. Okay, so that's all of the questions we're going to answer this week. But as we said, there were lots.
Lots more questions.
Lots. So I think we're going to tackle all the Disney and holiday ones next week. So you'll have to tune in for that to get all your facts. So we will see you in the next video, and then next week. Goodbye.
Bye. This question is quite specific. Do you want
to start?
Sure.
Which is more effective for PC cooling, fans or reservoirs? Thanks. Water cooling more effective but more offensive.
This is my notes for me.
Oh. Born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and then shooting some people outside of school. And a couple of guys.
You're so cool. Thank you for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and why not subscribe to our channel? You can also check out one of our other videos that should be on screen right about now.